Legend of Total War here, and today I've got a saving and disaster situation playing as the Knights of Caledor, where the endgame crisis triggered. It's the dwarfs, and it's 200 strength, and Imric found himself completely surrounded at Karaz-a-Karak, where they're going to spawn. So basically he wants me to get him out of here, or if possible, clear out as much of the dwarves as possible. Now, Imric himself is very strong, but his army is just, it's like, okay. Is it going to be able to take out all of these armies here by itself? No, definitely not. Especially considering we don't have Lightning Strike, which might have actually made it viable. Basically, no matter who we attack here, there's a lot of reinforcements to come in. Now, there's actually a lot that we can do to make our chances a lot better, so let's start getting into it. So what we really need our army to be able to do is be durable across multiple battles. Because we don't want to just win one battle, we want to be able to win battle after battle after battle and have our army basically be in decent shape. Now we don't have a life wizard in the army, and if I recruit a life wizard here, it won't be able to show up, because obviously there's no time for it to move. So we need to make other adjustments in order to do so. First thing, let's go into the rights here. We can see that we've got the Invocation of Eldrazi. This isn't going to make a huge difference, but extra armor-piercing weapon strength for Lord, Embedded Heroes, and Dragon Princes, and melee attack. It's better than nothing. So let's pop that one down, because we're going to need everything that we can get. Now the next thing is I do actually want to recruit a Lord here. So I went having a look to see if there was anyone particularly high level, because high level Lords you can kind of cheese their movement a little bit. But no one here is high enough level, especially like a life wizard, to make it work. So I'll recruit a new one anyway, but we won't be able to get her to support, because if you want to cheese movement, which again we're not able to do, they've got to be at least at rank 11, so they've got access to a mount, but that doesn't matter. So the next thing we want her to do is actually just take away the units from this army that I think has actually a weakness. At least temporarily, we can always just go pick them back up, rather than just disband them. Just hand them over to her and then pick them up later. So, the Dragon Princes are definitely good units, but at least for the first battle, I don't want them. Same thing with all of the archers. All I want are the dragons. Now, this gives us a full dragon army. And since they're all flying and none of them are actually unbreakable, that's not really a great idea. So we need a ground unit, and the best one to have as a ground unit is Imric. So this might seem a bit counterintuitive, but on his dragon, he's actually weaker, especially against the dwarfs, than on foot. We'll lose a lot of health, but what we'll gain is less size. So we'll lose a lot of size, making it so much more difficult for the dwarves to actually hit him. So we're going to get off Miniathir. I can't pronounce it right, whatever. Get off it. He's already got regen, so we don't really need the Armor of Caledor if there's a better option, which doesn't look like there is. Because we'd need something that have better than 10% ward save. Alright, so I'm just going to go through his items here and see what we can do to make him an absolute monster. So Star Lance is not a fantastic weapon for... that could be useful. Let's just have a look to see what's available here. Moon Touch Spear. No, that's not going to be handy. Just mainly looking for anything that's going to give him more durability. No, I don't think there's anything here. Tormentor Sword could work, but... no, I'll leave him with the Star Lance. Okay, then the Talisman. He's got the Sun Shard on at the moment. Immune to Desert, Attrition, Fire Resistance, and Passive Ability Rage. Rage is definitely good, but I think the Van Braces of Defense would be better. 15% ward save, extra melee defense, and a tiny bit of extra armor. That sounds good. Enchanted item, that seems useless. Why don't we grab the Shooting Star for 20% extra ward save? So we've got 65% ward save and 60% fire resistance. That's resistance. Yeah, well, they're not going to shoot him while he's on foot. That's why we want to take off, because they got loads and loads of like high damage missile units, especially well, I guess the Iron Drake Troll Hammer torpedoes aren't that big of a concern for Imric, just because he's got so much fire resistance. I'll also give him a Banner of Eternal Flame. I was hoping he had a Banner of Swiftness in here, not for him, but for the other hero here, but no such luck. Okay, then we need to go through her equipment.
Are many and powerful.
Radiant Gem of Health will keep, but let's have a look at some of this other stuff. So, Vine Dragon Scales. That could be really good for pinning down gyrocopters, which they have some. So I'll do that. And we'll give her the Tormentor Sword as well. Let's see. Does she need the Sun Shard? No. Why don't we give her the Emerald Collar? Because that'll give her regen. and a little bit of extra ward save. We've got a little bit of healing with these ones here, with this here, but only 4 uses of it. It's not going to be able to heal a ton. Then, as for the arcane item, we've got the blackened staff over here, so that'll give us life leeching, which is really good for getting a bunch of winds of magic, because yeah, we don't have a whole lot of that. Okay, any regiments of renown that we want to hire? We could get the Omen of Asurian if we absolutely need to, but I'm not going to get it for this first battle here. Okay, then, if we go and attack their center, it's going to bring in 4 armies, but if we attack the ones at the flank first, it might only bring in 3 armies instead of 4, so it just means that there's less to deal with. Okay, so I think I've made all the preparations that I can. Let's attack this one here. Okay. Also, everything is on the maximum battle difficulty. Alright, I want the Banner of Eternal Flame on Imric. Leadership on that one, and yeah, like that. Okay. So we've got, let's see how many armies. Yeah, there's 3 armies here, so that means we're not going up against their maximum amount of forces they could have possibly sent. That's why we came at them from that flank. Alright. Probably have to explain exactly why I've, reduced the number of units in the army, and yet I feel like this is much better odds. So, they have no real means of catching our dragons. So, their only hope is to kill Imric. And I'm going to give them the chance to kill Imric, but they're not going to be able to because he's too small. He's got ridiculously high melee defense. Then we try to get the enemy to blob up around Imric, since he's the only ground unit. And we use Flamestorm to burn the shit out of them. Because they're all going to have flame weakness thanks to Imric. And he's not going to be affected by it. So let's go for their reinforcements down here. Because if we stand there, hopefully they'll blob up a hell of a lot. I can't hide... Actually, I can hide this dragon, but not the others. Now, it would be really good if we can get rid of some of these units, so more of them will pull up around over here. But honestly, this will be fine. Just keep them back for now. And mainly just want to be utilizing Imric and Michaela. Okay. Now, another thing that we can do for this battle here is try to get Imric towards Lightning Strike. So we need 3 levels up. So I doubt 1 battle is going to be enough, considering he's already level 46. He's got enough potential to get Lightning Strike, but he needs to get to level 49 in order to do so. Excuse me. Actually, no, stand back here just a bit. But yeah, with 122 melee defense, even Slayers are going to have a hard time dishing any damage out to him. And even when they do hit him, 65% ward save. He actually only has 40% fire resistance. Well, actually, no, it's more than that because you take that into consideration as well. Alright, so we just need to wait for them to show up there. Now, because we don't have that much Winds of Magic, this is why I didn't want to go up against like 4 full stacks to begin with, because I really do think I'm going to run out of magic. But yeah, Imric can apply Burning on them just by being in melee. Oh, they've already got fire weakness anyway, just because of being in the local region with him. And then we add Flammable.
Prince Imric. Dragon's Rage.
Go for the enemy lord if we could.
The Dragon's Roar. The Knight of Caledon.
Okay, see how they're pulling around him. This is what we want, but just let that happen for the time being.
Following Ethua.
Because yeah, we don't have shitloads of magic. And he has got plenty of durability, so just
Forward.
let that happen. Got to watch out for their artillery, though. They've got organ guns there.
Going abroad.
Ooh. Okay, pop that down there. Move out of the way.
Winds of magic rise.
Now, the thing is, we don't have to wipe out every single one of their units. We just need to inflict the army losses. So it's really just about taking out all the easy stuff. Like this. Because, yeah, they got huge amounts of fire weakness there.
Glory is mine.
I can use this as well.
The glory of Imric.
Ulfwan Mage. Setting forth. Seeking the foe.
Good, good.
Making my way. Moving
Good, it's
out.
keeping quite a lot of their units there fighting Imric. And, of course, because he's small, only a couple of entities can hit him at a time.
Going
That's what I
abroad.
was counting on. I'd love to use a breath attack, but obviously if I get close, we're going to get shot.
Behold, the majestic.
Forward.
Okay, draw these ones up over here into the forest a little bit, and then we'll go in and attack them, just because the forest will ensure that we got a bit of missile block for us.
Prince Imric.
Alright, try to go for their lord there. Yeah, especially this guy here. He could do potentially a lot of damage to us.
Prince Imric.
Probably won't need the armor of Calidor very much. Although, it will give us
Might of the volcano.
reduced cooldown on these abilities. Okay, here we go. Get in over here and take out these ones. Now they're in the forest, this gives us an advantage over them.
To battle! Onward! Going.
Ooh, she's taking some damage.
Setting forth.
Gotta get in closer so I can use Flamestorm again.
Attack!
She got regen as well, but she has to be in melee in order to use it. Don't use the breath attacks while we're getting shot. Just get into melee with them so they can't shoot anymore. Okay, that one's essentially been neutralized.
For the king! Lakoy
Imric is doing really well, I think. Oh,
Blessed by Volk. The dragon's roar.
just make sure none of them get away to the point where they can fall back and start shooting at us. Good, good, good. They're all doing really nicely there. So what we've done here is ensure that our army, basically they just don't have particularly good tools for dealing with it. Although they actually do have some pretty good tools for dealing with dragons. They don't have any good tools for dealing with Imric. But they're prioritizing him. What they should be doing is prioritizing the dragons. It seems like they're prioritizing Imric less now. There's no need to do that. Wait until there's big of a... Okay, stay away from that Slayer Lord. He's going to do a lot of damage to us otherwise. Let's get out of that.
Spellcaster. For the Ever Queen. Making my way.
I think that's a good start.
Moving
I think that was about
Forward.
75% of one of their armies pretty much destroyed. And all of these dragons are in good shape.
Going abroad.
She's not in fantastic shape though.
Awaiting order.
At least she can regen without having to use this. That's why I'm not using it on her. Bring them back into the forest again. And away from them. Because when we landed, they felt like they could attack us. But now they're going to go back and fight Imric.
Setting
These ones over here will be sitting there because we're the attacker. And they've got artillery. Although we have used magical attacks, so they probably should try to come at us. Alright, that has actually done a fair bit of damage. It's hard to say exactly how much health Imric has lost just because he's got regen. He's just not losing health quickly.
I go then.
Right, let's go back over here. So has this one done much damage? A little bit.
Glory
Now he's
is
not a mortis
mine.
engine, so just being in melee, he's doing some damage, but just not
Might of
heaps.
the volcano.
Wielder of the winds.
So the Iron Drakes, yeah, they're doing a bit of damage. Because our entire army should have really good fire resistance as well. Yeah, fire resistance, missile resistance, and some ward save. So the Troll Hammer torpedoes actually aren't good in this situation, but the guns will be. Alright, look. It should be fine for us to fight him
Moving
now,
out.
just because he'll be isolated. Also, by attacking them on the first turn they spawn, they might be level 23 or whatever, but they haven't put any points into anything, so they're essentially level 1, although they are still immortal, because they apply that instantly.
Behold the majestic.
So this guy, how much damage did he do? See if I can check it before he dies. He got a little bit of damage in, but that's still good. Alright, that looks like a decent blob, let's do that.
Ulfwan Mage.
But yeah, the rest of their army's starting to come down this way now. Now we kind of want to have more of their like really damage units leave the battlefield so we can get a bigger blob around Imric so that the flame storms can do more damage. And no point doing that right now. Got to get them within the circle of influence in order for us to be able to pin them down. We can get rid of these grudge swords, they are actually doing decent damage to us.
Ready.
Okay, might be a good opportunity to use some breath attacks here.
Mage.
Like I said, as long as you're not getting shot, it's all good. Use them.
Making my way.
Good, we got that one pinned down. Very nice.
Sargon, hear me. High mage.
Now, if we had brought, you know, his entire army, they wouldn't be blobbing up around Imric. They'd be spreading out and trying to kill off all of our infantry. They'd mostly just ignore him. This is why I left them behind. They're actually a weakness in this situation. Because the thing is, when you've got a sort of a balanced army and you're going up against 4 full stacks, that's...
Going.
A balanced army is not good at handling that. What you want is a really unbalanced army, even if that unbalanced army is incredibly small. Because the AI just can't handle it now.
Following Ethra.
Master of
We used all the chain lightnings. But, do this again.
blessed by Baal.
Mage. I go there.
Prince Imric.
Look at them trying to fall back over there.
Wielder of the winds.
Okay, might be getting shot at in a moment. But if we're quick enough... That seems fine.
Battle.
Duty calls.
That's not going to do great against Iron Drakes, is it?
Palador
Okay, now might be a good opportunity to move them back. Go and take out the enemy artillery over here. And just leave Imric to it for the time being.
Fury.
Yeah, see, they're not really able to shoot him because it's too small.
Suffer my love.
Sometimes being on a dragon is not advantageous. Now, in the case of her, it's advantageous because we didn't really want her in melee like that anyway. And she needs the speed from being on a dragon, and also the versatility of being flying. This is why I was looking for the Banner of Swiftness, but he doesn't have one.
Phoenix.
Okay, most of the enemy reinforcements have already come in. Good, she should actually heal while fighting them. I just had to wait for them to bring their units over here so that we had enough time to come over here without them interrupting us. And if this flies up right underneath us, okay, I might be able to
Forward.
pin them down.
Setting
If we
forward.
just stay right underneath them,
Seeking the foe. Making my way.
there, okay, and then get up in the air quickly
awaits.
and kill it. Because they're not doing much damage, but they're worth a lot, and they're now sitting ducks.
Men Louis, Araya,
Good.
Louis.
Prince
So Imric
Imric.
hasn't used up all of his regen yet, that's great.
The light of Calador.
But the enemy are not really focusing on him anymore, so we need them to go and do that.
High mage.
Right, that seems to be the end of the gyrocopters. That's good. Okay, so we go wide around over here and try to lure them back over this way. So they go and fight Imric. And then I can burn them, hopefully. But yeah, they're definitely trying to ignore us now. Ignore Imric, that is. Okay, bunch of artillery over here, which could be good to get rid of quickly. Well, if they're coming back over this way, they might end up blobbing up around that area. That might end up happening. Yeah, if we can get that organ gun removed, that would be fantastic.
The glory of Imric.
Cleanse the land.
Good. That one went off the artillery. God damn, look at that pile of dwarfs. Okay, so we've definitely wiped out at least one full stack at this point. And, you know, minimal damage done to our entire army, because they're just not competent at dealing with this.
Orders.
Dragon Prince. Rain death.
Hopefully the army losses isn't too far away, but usually if you're going up against 3 full stacks that are of equal value, you need to take out 2 full stacks. I think we've definitely done more than one. Okay, I pop the Flamestorm here. They're hopefully just going to walk right into it.
Prince Imric.
Alright, keep getting Imric back in there, and you guys just back off over here. We don't want to be getting shot. Now, Imric over here.
To victory! Slay them!
Ulfwan Mage.
Eradicate
Not sure if that
them!
Flamestorm was fantastic.
To battle!
Yes.
Also, it would be good to bring them close to the center of the map, just so that when they eventually do run...
Prince Imric.
This here.
Death and glory.
Yeah, when they eventually do run, that we've got more time to run them down.
Following Ethua.
Yeah, they're not pulling up around Imric at the moment. Just need a little bit more time. I need the Flamestorm.
Making my way. Maintaining order.
Don't think it's worth overcasting, just because, you know, by the time
Winds of magic rise.
it's getting its, like, overcasted extended time, it's not even on top of them anyway.
Seeking the foe.
Might of the volcano.
So yeah, it usually ends up going away from where you want it to be going.
Mage. Spellcaster.
But yeah, there's a good pool of units around Imric at the moment.
The greater good.
So how much damage she done? 457 kills, but 73,000 in damage. And Imric has done even more than that.
High mage.
And he does, if he had the Nemesis crown, this would make it even easier, but that's not what we've got.
Mage.
Ah, no, don't land on them.
Forward. Going. Scython, hear me.
Still good enough magic for a few more casts, but also whenever we cast, we get 2.6 winds of magic back.
Orders for order.
Dragon's rage.
Okay, should be fine to use Dragon Breath on that unit. As long as we're not getting shot at, that's fine.
Ulfwan Mage.
Yeah, fighting around here is definitely good, because yeah, their missile units, they just can't target properly, because they don't really have much terrain awareness.
Yes.
So the map was definitely advantageous for us here.
Prince ascend.
I go then.
I reckon this will cause the army losses.
Lakoi Soraya. Ulfwan Mage. Moving out.
That's what I think. I think that was... Yep.
Onward.
Okay, cool. Now we just need for her to use up the last of her abilities here, and also get some regen. And of course run down as many of them as possible.
Prince
But that's a
Imric.
good start to this endgame crisis, I think. Imric actually started the battle a little bit damaged, because if you've got any health augments and you switch mounts, you always lose health.
Prince
Oh,
Imric.
there's still a couple of slayers here. Oh look, Imric just used up the last of his regen.
Doing my duty. Ethua, bend to my will.
Good. It's good they're running in this direction. That gives us plenty of time to run them down. This is where a Dragon Prince would definitely have been helpful, but I'm worried that if I had brought one Dragon Prince and left it hiding, they would have gone looking for us. Good. I think
Cooling the wind.
that's 2 of their
Prince
lords
Imric.
dead.
Duty call.
I definitely killed more than that. I'm not sure. Might have been a hero. Since it's still got magic, might as well use it.
Menlu.
Careful, careful.
Araya, Menlu.
Alright, cool. All the slaves are dealt with. And yeah, run them down and try to just get her as much regen as possible. Alright, I'll pause the recording as I sort this out, because it's not going to be particularly interesting. Okay, just attacking that last one there. Yep. Good, heroic victory, and I almost healed Michaela to full. Just a tiny sliver of damage. So yeah, this is what I was talking about having an army that can fight, end the battle, and still be in pretty good shape, rather than fight this battle and have lost 80% of our forces. At least we're in good shape to keep fighting. Now, the next fight, it might be impossible for us to prevent 4 armies from showing up. But let's just see what happens. Okay, I'm actually kind of glad we didn't wipe out any of their armies, because this will allow us to use one of them as reinforcements for the enemy to take up a reinforcement slot, essentially, because they can only bring in 4. And unfortunately, this one here doesn't provide any healing.
They are surely worth
Okay. Didn't really like that this one went over this way. So the Pillars of Grogny, and they're only a tier 1 settlement. See, if I go over here, we're not going to have enough movement to get back.
Glory.
So it's just something to go deal with. Because yeah, you can recruit a lord over here and get a bunch of regiments of renown. They should be able to handle that.
Loyalty is all.
Alright, so of the 8 armies, we've essentially defeated 3. So there's still 5 left. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's right.
Master
Okay,
of
and we
high
gained
magic.
2 levels up from that. So not enough for Lightning Strike. I don't really want to put 2 points into this just to reduce their reinforcement timer, because actually no, it might give me more time to get set up. Alright, do that. Okay. And with you, I doubt there's anything here that's going to be of any value. No. Just whatever. Okay, so if we attack this one here, it looks as though I can see 3 yellow arrows. So there's going to be 4 full stacks this time. And unfortunately, neither of these 2 armies are going to reinforce, because the other one, it picks whichever one's closest. But if we attack... Yeah, look, no matter which of these that we attack... Hang on. Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, no matter which one we attack, we're not able to get the reinforcements to be one of those. Okay, well, we took out 3 full stacks. Let's see if we can now take out 4.
Do you take me for a wizard?
Not the time to bring in this one at all. Well, the fact that he's got Mentor, that is providing some experience over to this one. We're not likely to get that to rank 11 though.
You may look upon.
Alright, no point staring at it, it's not going to do anything, so let's get into it. Okay, so yeah, 3 armies coming in as reinforcements. Yep. Okay, now they should all be coming from the same location, so we need to get to that location as quickly as possible and sit there with Imric. Now, luckily, because he's got 2 points into Lightning Strike now, we've delayed them from showing up, giving us more time to get over there. Thing is, though, the reinforcements are probably going to come in from their rear. Choke point battle, okay. Okay, maybe I don't need to go into their position. For one thing, I don't know if I'll be able to just slip past this army here and go over there. Because, yeah, they'll form a huge blob as they're just crossing through here. I actually kind of wish I could bring in all 4 of their armies at once, because the number of units they have on the battlefield doesn't make any difference for this fight. Or the previous one, for that matter. But yeah, getting to there within 2 minutes, I don't see that happening. Alright, we'll just move them over to here, because what I will probably do is fly over this way. Yeah, let's see how that goes. But Imric's on foot. Maybe I should have put him on horseback for this battle, but we'll see. Thing is, if I switch his mount, he'll take damage. Still, 54 speed on foot is pretty good.
Sent by the forge. Locating. I will claim it.
I really don't think I'm going to be sitting in front of them in time. So I think we're going to have to fight them here. And hopefully they just blob up like crazy. Because yeah, that's what we get the value out of the Flamestorm for. So basically, they've only got 15% spell resistance.
Prince Imric. Taking
Thanks to
position.
fire weakness.
Behold as I march.
But then again, when we use Kindle Flame, it reduces their fire increases their fire weakness even further.
I seek glory. For all Calador.
Onward. Going abroad.
The artillery is being a bit of a problem.
I will go. Locating.
I'm not going to be able to get over there. So I'll have to get Imric to try to take out the artillery. Because yeah, I can't get these ones over here until the artillery's been dealt with. It was different in the other battle because the terrain was actually better for us.
My way. Seeking the foe.
Calador's chosen.
One mage.
Suffer my lance.
Yeah, I'm going to have to just bring them back out of range. Because the enemy are not focusing on Imric at all at the moment. Which, okay, that might be an opportunity for us to...
Taking position.
Well, then how am I going to get them over here because of the artillery? Well, they'll just go wide around this way. No, it'll be fine. I mean, they'll have to pull up over here. And plus, we can always just move them over to this side if we absolutely need to.
Prince. Slay them. Rain death.
So these Slayers... Yeah, they're not doing very much damage. That's good. But yeah, no big blob around him this time, and we need that. Because we're going up against more this time than last time.
Prince Imric. The crown prince ascends.
And they're just taking a defensive position. Alright, there should be some artillery in this group here that's going to lag behind. Maybe that'll be a good opportunity for us to come in over there and smash them. Damn, they got some serious range on those cannons. I think this is going to be a tougher battle than the previous one. Okay, I got an idea. I'm going to get Imric to go and kill this lord over
Master of
here.
battle. I will claim it. Death and glory.
Okay, so far so good.
They die.
Has he done any hits on us? No, that's good.
The dragon tamer.
I definitely prefer to use Flamestorm right now, but I can't get in close at the moment.
Glory be.
Okay, so when he hits Imric, only does 50 odd damage.
Behold the
Really
majestic.
dead. This guy's effectively rank 1. And now they're starting to march forward. But they're not blobbing up around Imric. Well, that just means Imric's got good opportunities to pick at them. Cool. 1 lord down, 3 to go.
Sent by the forge.
Got this as well, but wait for a bigger blob. Because this one here is good against just a small blob.
Calador's
Take a shot
glory.
every time Legend says blob in this battle, in this video.
Rain death.
Try not to die challenge.
They die.
Yes, yeah, see, he's right, they die.
Slay them.
They're just ignoring us.
Dragon's rage. Calador's fury.
See, that's not what we want. We want them to notice me.
Death and glory. To victory.
It's weird. Back off of there.
To battle. Yes. Suffer
Alright,
my
we'll see if we can create a bit of a
lance. Eradicate them.
tar pit here.
Rain
Because this looks like a pretty good opportunity for chain lightning.
Might of the volcano! They die!
I thought there'd be some artillery lagging behind here. Alright, now it's time for the flying units here. Come around back this way.
To battle!
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Still did a lot of damage, but a lot of wasted potential there. But it's randomly moving. I can't do anything about that.
Phoenix Sun!
It's just running right through them. They don't give a fuck.
Slay them! Fury of the Forge God!
Okay, now we're all on this side. Are there any artillery over here? No. They must have brought in portions of more than one army, rather than bringing their full army. Okay, I'm going to get them all over there except for this one. Household missile resistance, 35%, 25%, okay. Just curious about the artillery, how much damage they're going to do.
For order. Setting forth.
Them using the troll hammer torpedoes on Imric is actually going to do more damage to their own troops than to us. Just waiting for the right opportunity to cast Flamestorm.
Making my way. Going abroad.
Now seems okay. Hopefully they're going to walk into it a bit. So these cannons, yeah, they've done a little bit of damage, nothing too severe. Gotta get this one off the artillery. How much time has that got left? Good, come on, bit more. Could have actually been worth it to overcast it in this instance, but honestly I was pretty happy with that. 15,000 damage with one spell cast. So that would have cost us 7.4 winds of magic in total, because we've still got the life leeching. Okay, that looks like the kind of blob we want to see. Oh, they've got, we gotta get rid of their lord. This one here. They've got the thing that will cause us to miscast. Even on bound spells. So yeah, don't use this, it'll actually end up backfiring on us a little bit. But it's only got, I think, 100 meter range, so if I use this, should be okay. Oh, I think I just took a cannonball to the face. But good. They're pulling around Imric now. That's what we wanted to see. Good. They used their gyrocopter attack, their bombs on their own units, essentially.
Glory is mine.
Yeah, this is the guy here. We gotta take him out. She might actually end up doing more damage in this battle than she did the previous one. Oh, man, this blob's awesome. I gotta go back.
Fury of the Forge God.
Moving out.
Can always use this to heal her if I need to.
Cleanse the land.
Oh my god. This might actually be worth it to overcast this one. It's just such a big blob.
Winds of magic rise.
So 17 winds of magic at minus 2.6. Come on, stay in that area. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have overcasted it. It does increase the amount of damage that it does, but for that extra 7 winds of magic, considering it just moved out of the way, I don't think it's worth it. And now it's going to last ages, and I'm not going to be able to cast another one. And I'm out of chain lightnings. And yeah, Imric's getting a bit surrounded there. Just a bit. Yeah, definitely should not have overcasted it. Big regrets. And the cooldown's bloody 50 seconds, so hopefully they don't disperse from this. before that point. Imric is taking a fair bit of damage though. He's not going to be able to stay there forever. Good. She's done more damage in this battle so far than in the previous one. Which is good because we kind of needed her to. Imric, he's done a lot of damage. Not too many kills though. Just got to keep dodging this one here. Is that going to shoot at us? Yeah. 15 more seconds. Yeah, overcasting was a big mistake. Really shouldn't have done that. And this is why most of the time I don't overcast. Alright. So if you ever wonder, why does Legend ever overcast? There you go, there's the key reason. We could have done so much more damage at a cheaper Winds of Magic cost if we didn't overcast that. God damn, over 100,000 damage done now. But Imric can't just stay here forever. He's not properly hitting it on this one. That's what I need him to do.
The glory of Imric.
Right, if this Thunderer gets too close over here, that's easy for them to deal with. Big problem is the fucking cannon. At least if we fight in the trees, most of those shots will hopefully miss. Alright, I'm gonna have to do this. It's gonna, yeah, he miscasted a little bit. But I just gotta clear out all this shit. Should we do it again? No, yeah. Yeah, I can do it again.
The dragon's roar.
So I gotta clear out all the infantry so I can have proper duel against the lords. Alright, so he's done nearly 100,000 in damage. Okay, you guys get on the ground. It'll be harder for them to hit us while we're on the ground. Still got one more of them.
The light of Calador.
Good, yeah, they can barely hit us. Let's get in there, that's good. Alright, still a lot of enemies to come in. We've got some stragglers back there as well. Oh, there was a Bugman Ranger in there as well. That's fine. 2 units, that's no big deal.
Forward, going abroad.
Yeah, they're really trying to aim for Michaela, which I don't blame them for doing that. That was what I would do as well.
Behold, the majestic.
Right these rocks, kill us!
So try to get her, keep her in the forest. That way at least you get some kind of shield block from the trees.
Making my way. Crush them! Attack!
Prince Imric.
Yeah, that's done a lot of damage.
A glorious challenge.
Alright, almost got this lord killed. But yeah, that's the one I really need to get rid of if I want to be getting in close and using spells. Right, get in over here. Actually, get up in the air again. Good, so running that down is helping Michaela get a little bit of health back. If we don't stay near this one, it will rally. I don't want that. Imric is not able to keep fighting here forever.
Calador's fury. Eradicate them.
I'd rather not do this until he's gone. Alright, now what we're going to do is get all of our flying units back around over here so that they get into melee with Imric.
Moving out. Setting forth. Ulfwan Mage.
That Bugman Ranger might rally.
It is done.
Yeah, he did. Okay, you just go back there and sort it out. Might as well use a breath attack. We're not going to run out of them. Because it's not the key to victory anyway. Good. Yeah, still a lot of enemies to deal with, and Imric is getting pretty worn out. So at some point I'm going to have to pull him out of the fight, and we have to rely entirely on the dragons. But ideally, we want to inflict the army losses before it reaches that point. Yeah, with their army all spread out like this, that's to their advantage, not ours. We want them to blob up.
Making my way.
The crown prince ascends!
Spellcaster.
So I'm going to clear out more of these guys here, so we can properly get at that lord.
Phoenix sun! Never fail!
Just doing that, so shouldn't have decreased cooldown on this. Good. Also, we're starting to run a little bit low on Winds of Magic. Still, all of our other dragons are in good shape. What about them? Just yet, anyway.
Orders. Going abroad. Following Ethra. Forward. I go then. Battle awaits.
Yeah, see, these ones here, they're not crowding around Imric like I want them to.
Going. Onward. Menlui! Araya Menlui!
The dragon tamer! First by ball!
Seeking the foe.
Alright, so... Alright, they've almost brought in 3 of their armies. With one of them... But they brought in a couple of units from that one.
Master of
Almost
battle.
killed this lord. I think that's the last one he needs to kill. Oh no, there's one. Okay, well we got them to come over to this side. That's fine. Get over here and fight Imric. Goddamn cannons shooting at us constantly. Good, finally got him. Now I can use this without taking additional damage. Alright, that flame cannon there shouldn't be a problem for us to deal with.
Rain death!
Okay, they've brought in 3 full stacks now. So that means we've defeated at least 1 full stack. At least. Which I'd say it's probably closer to 2. It's just that they've got a bunch of units that haven't left the battlefield yet. Now another thing is that if we end up in a situation where we're quite badly damaged, it's going to be harder to inflict the army losses. So we'll have to kill more of them in order to inflict it. Okay, is that one? Yep, that one's been terror-rated, so that should be that unit essentially dealt with. So now what we need to be focusing on, since we're starting to get worn out, is really taking out their most valuable units that are easy to take out, so we can just inflict the army losses and be done, because we need to recover. You know, if we fight another battle, we get another opportunity to heal. Alright, with this, I think we might have 2 flame storms left in us. Thanks to life leeching. Wait, hang on. The next one will give us... No, it won't. No, we won't get 2. Because we'll have about 7 or 8 winds of magic left after the next cast. Imric is really getting worn out. Gonna have to pull him out soon. So this is our last flame storm. Could use Burning Head maybe, but I don't think that's a big deal. Rely on breath attacks. Right, get in over there. I could... No, I don't have enough magic for overcasting it.
I go then. Forward.
Alright, after this, Imric has got to get out of there.
Bend to my will.
Prince Imric!
Okay, get him out.
Of the forge god!
Onward.
Oh, there's still a fair few slayers as well we've got to deal with. See, this is why I didn't want to deal with 4 full stacks at a time. If only we had gained enough experience to get lightning strike. But nope. Yeah, walk in through there and drag them through it.
Going.
Behold, as I march.
Okay, I've got to get Imric out of here. Luckily he's got perfect vigor, so he'll be faster than their units. And now we've got to rely entirely on these dragons, which they're good, for sure. But there's still a lot of enemies to deal with. So that's a bit of a problem. And we're out of magic.
I am magnificent.
Awaiting orders.
What we should really try to do is get towards the edge of the map and try to break these guys and get them off the battlefield as quickly as possible, rather than kill them.
Seeking the foe.
Or let's just let's try to get the win.
Yes.
Ulfwan Mage.
We've still got some heals left with her, but yeah, Imric's got to go stand over here. We can still fight a little bit with him, but he's no longer contributing towards the victory by
High
fighting.
Mage.
Because he's basically used up all of his abilities.
Wielder
How much
of
damage
the
did he end up
winds.
doing? Did really well,
Ulfwan Mage.
but just not enough to take out 4 full stacks on his own.
Moving out.
Okay, it'd be good to take out these gyrocopters. They're not going to do much damage to us, and they'll be worth a fair bit. I can draw them away from the rest of their army.
Mage.
Alright, this is how I reckon we do it. Bring them over here, land, get underneath them, pin them down, fly up.
Orders.
Because yeah, if you just go and attack them, then they just fly away from you. But if you just walk underneath them,
Moving out.
they
Seeking the
hopefully
foe.
don't realize what's going
Making
on.
my way. Following
Yeah, see how they're not skirmishing?
Onward. Going.
Yeah, they're just turning around
I
to
go
deal
then.
with...
Forward.
Yeah, that's okay. There we go.
Winds of magic rise.
Palador chosen. Locating.
I don't really want to hide him, Rick. I wouldn't mind if they sent someone to go and fight him.
Going abroad. The winds
Yeah, these dragons are
rise.
really good.
Ulfwan Mage.
Would have expected them to take a lot more damage than this.
High Mage.
Don't want to waste these casts. If they're all on fire, that'll waste it. So wait until they're not on fire. Oh god. There's 2 full stacks on the battlefield right now. And we've got just this. Really shouldn't have done that overcasted flamestorm.
Following Ethua.
Because I could have done 2
Spellcaster.
flamestorms for that price. And it was mostly wasted.
Forward.
Alright, at the back of their army over there, there's a whole bunch of artillery. Those will be worth a hell of a lot. Also, we don't have to take out every single one of their units. We just got to get the army losses. And we should be... We should have still traded very well against them.
Awaiting orders.
Let's speed that up a little bit. Get around over here. Those are organ guns. Great. They're worth a lot at least. And if they're isolated, we can kill them.
My power is yours.
Spread out a little bit, makes it easy to dodge. Yeah, definitely don't use breath attack here. Would not be worth it. Try to move erratically so it's hard to hit us. Looks like they're really trying to go for Michaela.
Go then.
Which she's actually the least valuable dragon now. Apart from the healing. 'Cause, yeah, let's see. I could still use piercing bolts of burning. That's a good spell. Are these cannons here still bloody active? I don't think so. No, I don't want Imric hidden. Where is he? One invisible. I could always withdraw him from the battle. Oh, no, no, no. That would be bad because we need the ground unit.
Yes, it shall be. Seeking the foe. For the king!
She can still regenerate a hell of a lot because she's still got that talisman on. dishing out a fair bit of damage to it. Alright, definitely would be best to go over here and take out their reinforcements as they're coming in. Because this is way too concentrated, I think. No, not with his flaming attacks. There's no rush on doing that right now. It's not going to make any difference. Although, some breath attacks on them actually wouldn't be too bad. Okay. Move on this way. Oh, damn it. That was massively wasted.
Wolf one mage. Ready. At once.
That artillery is going to do more damage to their own units than to us. Okay, so it's all just missile units over there. If we can get in over there before they come in, and get into melee as soon as they arrive, we'll easily kill them. We've got to get rid of this goddamn gyrocopter here.
Going abroad. Setting
No, if I go over that way, these ones are going to shoot me some more.
Spellcaster. Wolf one mage. My power is yours.
I could actually cast a fair few fireballs, actually, because it only cost me 1.4 winds of magic.
Lakoi Soraya.
If you wouldn't mind casting it, that'd be great. Or don't, whatever.
Seeking the foe.
It's a stupid spell. It's always derping out. Get out of
Moving
there.
out. Wolf one mage. Making my way.
They're starting to come back. Imric is definitely visible. And they're just sending one unit of minus blasting charges over to him. That's fine. If we need to bail on this position, go over there and fight them, that'll be easy.
Wolf one mage.
Okay, now that we're not taking flame damage, this would be a good opportunity to use this. I'd still like to rely on her talisman for healing. So let's just heal the dragons that can't heal
Onward.
by any other means. Alright, that one's about to leave the battlefield, so one of them's about to come in real soon.
Orders.
Okay, get on the ground.
Mage.
Let's try this again with these goddamn gyrocopters. Nope. So they're actually... Okay, hang on, here we go, here we go. Don't need all of them to fight the... thing. Okay. A bit closer, a little bit closer. Okay, there we go. And then get up in the air. Good, that's fine. Make sure it doesn't get a chance to shoot. Although, we've got plenty of fire resistance, so it's not going to do much damage to us.
For order.
Alright, let's get rid of the last of their reinforcements as cheaply as possible. Probably not enough to cause the army losses just yet, though. Plus, she'll be able to get some healing done. Now, it doesn't really matter too much if we stop them from moving, because all we have to do is just knock them off the edge, and they'll still rack, as long as their leadership has actually broken.
Awaiting orders.
Want to minimize the amount of damage they're actually doing back to us.
Forward. Attack. Wolf one mage. To war.
Just two more bits of reinforcements to come in. And yeah, they are massively stuffing around here.
High mage. Araya. Wolf one mage.
Okay, most of those shots are going to hit trees anyway, so don't worry about that right now.
Yes.
Good, she's recovering. Anything that we can do to gain any balance of power is going to be useful. Good, that's the last of their reinforcements. Now, we don't have a balance of power, so we can't, because it's legendary difficulty, can't see exactly how strong they are compared to us. Might actually be a good idea to hide Imric now, because that's actually a bit too much coming this way. We should get rid of that organ gun.
Power is yours.
And don't let these thunderers here shoot at us. That's good, they're separated from the rest of their army, so that'll be easy to deal with. Good, the organ gun's dealt with. Let's get over there, sort them out.
Going abroad, seeking the foe.
Just try to get there without them inflicting too much damage on us. I think this one here has not been fully defeated. Those units are pretty high value and they're quite isolated. I might send Imric to go kill them. They're not going to do any damage to him.
Ready. Lafane!
There's also still some slays to deal with. But once we've inflicted the army losses, we'll be able to use our breath attacks to thin them out a little bit. Okay, so they're heading over to Imric, but he'll be able to do a bunch of damage over to them before they arrive. That's fine. I'm pretty confident we've got this. Yeah, you just keep running that one down. I need you to regenerate as much health as you can.
Prince Imric. Blessed
So
by
that's
all.
useful if I'm going up against anything particularly tough in melee for them, because their melee attack's not that great.
A glorious challenge.
Ulfwan Mage.
Don't use any of this, because as soon as you pin them down, they actually fight back, even if they're broken.
Dragon Prince.
Good, they are not doing much damage at all to Imric. It seems like every time they hit him, he loses 1 health.
For the dragons.
And while these ones here aren't that much of a threat to them, it's really just about, I gotta inflict the army losses as soon as possible, just because we're getting really worn out now.
Prince Imric.
Right, you gotta move.
I will claim it.
You can't be fighting them and these slayers. The slayers will
I will
definitely
go.
kill you.
Fury of the Forge God. I seek glory.
Ulfwan Mage. Making my way. To battle!
The Crown Prince ascends.
Yep, they hit him with the missile attack, doesn't do anything.
Crown Prince.
He's got perfect vigor, so he's only just able to outrun
Prince Imric.
the slayers.
Lord sends me.
But then again, if they're charging at him, they might actually still be able to
Following
catch him.
Ethua. Setting forth.
Ah, shit.
Locating.
He might be able to defeat 1 unit of slayers without too much
Taking
difficulty.
position.
I'm
In
gonna cut him off
War's
as well.
name.
Definitely don't want to withdraw him from the battlefield.
Crown Prince moving.
And we don't have any extra speed boosts here.
I seek glory. Prince Imric.
They're not perfect vigor, but
I will
shit,
go.
come on, come on.
I
Yeah, they've
will
actually
claim it.
got kind of a speed
Behold,
advantage
then I
when they're
march.
charging against us. That's annoying.
Lord
But they haven't hit
sends
us
me.
yet,
Sent
so
by
just
the
keep
forge.
running. Keep running.
Locating.
Just pick off these stragglers at the back here.
Maintaining order.
Oh, they did actually do a little bit of damage to him. Hang on, does this reduce their speed? No, it doesn't. I don't really want to get shot with that. Yeah, use a fireball. At least we got their attention. Let's draw them back again now. You guys need to get back up in the air. How are we going over here? Okay, looks like he's able to get away from them. That's good.
Ulfwan Mage.
Some leftovers over here to go sort out.
Crush them.
If I can lure these Slayers by themselves all the way over through here, then I could use the breath attacks on them without having to worry about getting shot. Okay, so far so good.
I go then.
Just one at a time, otherwise they just all target the same spot. Yeah, that wasn't amazing. Oh, no, stop. Not worth it if you're gonna get shot. Not worth it at all. Alright, so all I've really got now are fireballs.
Typhon, hear me. Onward.
I think we'll still get one more cast.
Master of battle.
If that's... It's better than nothing.
Awaiting orders.
Okay, bring Imric over here.
Prince moving.
High Mage.
And bring them over there. We need to get some isolated units. A lot of Slayers. Actually, I wonder what happens if he hides and we put them back around this side. They might go looking for him. Yeah, it looks like they're going to go looking for him. Because they can't get the dragons. Alright, go back across here. No, now they're trying to target the dragons. Because, yeah, we just can't attack that head on. We'll lose. Man, none of these abilities are going to be useful to us here. And they don't care about Imric now. And we just need them to separate a little bit. Just one unit to come over here. Something easy for Imric to fight. Even if it's a Slayer unit. As long as it's only one. This looks promising. Mildly promising. Yeah, I've got enough magic for one more fireball. Okay, there's a good opportunity. That guy's lag behind. And a Lord's worth way more than any of these other units. And he... Let's have a look. Good, relatively low stats because he's exhausted. And... Imric should have no trouble killing him. But you don't have very long to do so.
Never fail.
Ulfwan Mage. Forward.
Right, here's our last fireball.
The glory of Imric.
Moving out.
The phoenix rises.
Okay, he hasn't hit Imric yet.
Dragon's rage.
But Imric...
Suffer my
there you go,
love.
just hit his net. Then...
Fury
Come on, Imric,
of
you gotta
the
hurry.
Forge God.
Ulfwan Mage.
The crown prince ascends. Prince Imric.
Okay, we traded very well here.
Behold the majestic. Prince
We can kill
Imric.
him, that'd be even better. And they're splitting up their forces
Prince
again. This guy
Imric.
is shattered. Still no army losses, though.
Eradicate them.
Yeah, no more... actually, I can use one more spell, the Cascading Fire Cloak.
A glorious challenge.
It'll actually only cost us 0.4 winds of
Prince
magic.
Imric.
Good, he's dead.
Done.
But yeah, if there's ever a spell that you want to actually use it to recharge your winds of magic, it has to cost 2 or
Dragon
less.
Tamer. Prince Imric.
Hammerers could be a bit of a problem due to their high melee attack.
Glory is mine.
An opportunity is forming up over here, because the missile units are the biggest threat. All the Slayers are over this side, and they've just got a couple of missile units here. That's good. Alright, we might be able to handle that. Just keep you back, because they're going to focus fire on you.
Going. Mage.
Definitely don't use a breath attack. Alright, I'm going to bring Imric in to come and help.
Doing my duty.
Yeah, save this when we're actually fighting those Slayers. Good, there's the army losses. Great stuff. Alright, now we just gotta deal with the Slayers. Which shouldn't be a problem now that they're the only ones remaining. Because yeah, the bounce power was definitely not in our favour. Watch out, Imric, I don't want you fighting anymore. We'll breath attack them. But obviously we should try to run down as many of them as possible, although I guess it doesn't really matter that much. Because they're all just going to be damaged armies, and all their best units are going to be dealt with. And next battle we'll just heal again. Plus we should be getting Lightning Strike in the next one.
Awaiting orders.
Behold as I march.
Ulfwan Mage.
So there are 5 units of Slayers. We've got a decent number of breath attacks. Problem is, using a breath attack on a moving target, kind of shit. Alright, this one over here will be easy for them to deal with because it's isolated. And this is, I think, the good time to use the Dragon Horn.
Orders.
I will go.
Really would like to run them down, but let's just focus on this. It'll be fine. Because yeah, there should be only one army left that hasn't actually participated in a battle. Which means, even if we didn't have Lightning Strike, they'll be bringing in, at most, 3 damaged armies. No, now they've brought them too close together. It was only worth fighting them when they were separated. So just try to thin them out as much as possible before we go into melee. Got any more heals left.
The Crown Prince ascends.
I go then.
The Dragon Tamer.
Could pin them down first with this, I suppose.
Onward.
Yeah, because that just completely missed.
Dragon Prince.
Ulfwan Mage. Men Louis! Araya Men Louis!
Glory is mine. Master of
Good, now this one's lagging behind, so we'll finish it off.
Spellcaster.
No, not you.
Following Ethua. Winds of magic rise!
Might of
The
the
fear's useless,
volcano.
but extra melee attack will help us to kill them a bit quicker.
Prince Imric.
Forward.
Still got this cast left to do.
Phoenix Sun.
Yes.
Okay, now this one's isolated. I don't want to fight all of them,
Making my
although
way.
they're kind of blobbed up. Who's got a breath attack?
Prince Imric.
Moving out.
Taking position.
High Mage.
Ah, that was a shit breath attack. Must have interrupted it by moving in front of it.
Ready. Cleanse the land.
Alright, we should have thinned them out enough that we're okay to keep fighting.
I will go.
Yeah, because we'll just use Imric stand the ground here to provide extra melee defense as well. And this will weaken them on top of that.
Behold the majestic! Blessed by Vor!
Oh my god, that like completely missed. Oh well.
Prince Imric!
That's weird. It didn't decrease the cooldown on that. Very strange.
Going. Effua, bend to my will.
Another one.
Setting forth. Going abroad.
Prince Imric!
For the king!
Cool, just a handful of slayers left. We got this.
Glory is mine!
Alright, well, we're definitely... Oh, shit. Actually, you should get out of... Oh, my God. Get out of there. We... Definitely not in good shape. But the next battle shouldn't be difficult. There we go. That was a much more difficult fight than the first one. The first one was like piss easy. There were definitely some good opportunities, and I think the biggest mistake I made was overcasting Flamestorm. Should have just regular casted it. Probably could have inflicted the army losses earlier, because it would have done more of those Flamestorms. As opposed to one big one that mostly just missed. Moved out of the way. But that's the gamble that you take with it. Okay, yeah, all of their armies are badly damaged. Okay, and do that.
Could use a little gold.
And just one army left that hasn't been hurt at all. And yeah, I don't even think we're going to need Lightning Strike now. But let's just have a look and we'll see. There's no way... Oh, there's no way we're going to get back to here. We're almost out of movement. Okay.
Greatest of the
Well.
dragon princes.
Because here's the thing. If I attack here and Lightning Strike... Hang on.
Seeking glory.
We've got to try to take out as many of their armies as we possibly can. So this one here, that's 4 of them. And this one. But if we Lightning Strike, these guys will still be there. They might move a little bit out of the way. I might be able to get them to get more of them. Maybe.
The dragon shall wake.
Or do we go for this guy here and really try to... Well, he gets...
Meant to be.
We can attack him no matter what.
You may look
Might be good if they come in as reinforcements. Right, let me just see for levels up. Okay, we got the last 2 levels up there. Yeah, I was going to use Lightning Strike, but I just don't think we need it now. So I'll leave those points for him to spend. I thought I was going to need it.
Another triumph for the dragon.
Guess not. Alright, just this one or this one. What's it going to be? Can't attack him. But yeah, if we... Yeah, we're pretty much out of movement as soon as I attack that one. I get a tiny little bit left if I attack him, which will allow us to get back into the city. And you'll be able to deal with the defense, I think. Is this region Karazakarak? Good. If it's Karazakarak, then this army should actually head over this... that's not guaranteed. There's also some heroes over here that could attach into your army.
Loyalty is all.
Not going to be needed, though. Alright, we're going to attack this one here.
Sup?
Because it uses up the least amount of movement. Still a decisive defeat. But that's okay. Because Imric's able to heal. Definitely not the right time to put him on his dragon. And she's got a few heals as well. Alright, let's do this. So it should be easier than the other ones. Now, Imric took so much damage in the previous battle that he might already have... basically not be able to get back up to full health. One of their armies is coming in from our rear. Just depends on which ones come in first. Well, actually, they're all going to come in because they're not bringing in 40 units. Okay, he will be able to heal the full, but probably only just. That's not exactly much. Alright, just wait for their reinforcements to come in while we sit it over here. Also, that gives us time to heal. Excuse me. But yeah, we get all of our abilities back. This is why you want to fight lots of smaller battles as opposed to one big, massive fucking fight. But he didn't have Lightning Strike. Would have been really bloody easy to deal with it if he had. But we seemingly got through it. Regardless. Alright, yeah, just let him heal. Still prefer to use her healing from her item as opposed to the Radiant Gem of Hoeth. Because yeah, we only get 4 uses of that.
Prince Imric, I will go.
So hopefully she's getting a bit of healing done. Good. Alright, that's one army dealt with. If you can even call that an army. And they're still being passive, yeah, because we haven't done any magic or missile damage to them. I wonder if Imric can like just get around the back and start attacking. They're shooting at us. Because I want to get rid of the artillery because that's the most dangerous to the dragons. Okay, they're all blobbed up. We gotta go. Oh, I may have missed an opportunity there.
Locating. Ball sends me. Caledon's
Whoops.
fury.
Okay.
In
We
all
should be
things.
fine to handle this one. No problem.
The light of Caledon.
Yeah, they got cannons.
Seeking the foe.
Yeah, there's his max regen.
Son.
I go there.
Alright, as soon as we use a magic attack on them, they should start actually being a bit more aggressive and hopefully sending more units to go and fight Imric. Can't get too close, it'll just make those cannons easier to hit us.
Glory is mine.
Yeah, that time it
The glory of
covered the
Imric.
cooldown. It's weird. Maybe it only recovers the cooldown if you've got any health to regenerate. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Pressed by ball.
Okay, now their entire army's advancing. That's good.
Taking position.
Alright, I gotta take out those goddamn
Before
cannons.
Caledon.
Yes.
How much damage have they done so far? Fair bit.
Fury of the
But at least, yeah, they're
Forge
ignoring Imric, so Imric can just come around the back here and smash him. Might actually use the last heal on her, just because they're the ones that they target her the most, and it's going to take quite a while for her to heal. Plus, she'll have to be in melee for that to happen.
Prince Imric. A glorious challenge.
So keep some distance from their army for the time being, because Imric is doing a good job just taking out some high-value units that are going to be dangerous to the dragons. Okay, well, the dragons get in there and finish that off themselves now, I guess.
Done.
Plus, with them marching around like this, they're starting to blob up a lot more. So, there'll be better opportunities for... I hope that they walk into that. I think that they will,
Setting
but we will see.
orders.
Right, that's the last heal for her. Come on. Okay, it's doing some damage to them, that's good. Would have hated for that to have been a complete waste. Definitely wasn't a good cast though.
Death and glory.
Going abroad. Ready. Onward.
Alright, they're using the Iron Drakes to shoot at us. Definitely don't want to land with the dragons. It's okay if the Iron Drakes are shooting us a bit.
Ulf mage.
Okay, here's a good opportunity, I think, for you. But yeah, they're not crowding around Imric in this battle. Pretty much at all.
Wielder of the winds.
Dragon Prince. The
Although
beast rises.
they might. Also, their lord. Yeah, we need to kill him. He's going to make it difficult for us to cast using Imric at least. But she'll have enough distance. Okay, that looks like a pretty good blob. Let's pop that down. Yeah, I think Imric really needs to go after him.
Awaiting orders. Ulf mage.
Since they're not really focusing on us, maybe we can get a few shots on with this. No, shouldn't have done it. Got disrupted.
Suffer my lance.
Still, that seemed like a pretty good flamestorm. Look at the damage she's done. Yeah, not too bad.
Slay them. The dragons roar.
Good. Okay, get out of it. Got no more healing for the regular dragons anymore. That's it. Yeah, a life wizard in this army would have been really great. But that being said, a life magic would have meant no, or less fire magic. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's good that we didn't have a life wizard,
Assia mage.
because that would have just added temptation for healing. This one here still hasn't been wiped out. So far, so good. I'm gonna go take that out. No, I can't use this until... Wait, did that miscast? That wasn't a spell.
The dragon tamer.
Ulf mage.
Behold the majestic.
I think he miscast because of that.
Ulf mage.
Okay, good. Now we can use Imric for casting without any concerns.
I am
If you just get them blobbed up, that'd be great. Otherwise, it's wasting the casts. But with her, we've got plenty of winds of magic, so it's fine if some of these casts don't do a great job.
Palador's chosen.
So I hope it's
Ulf mage.
plenty of winds of magic. I guess we'll find out soon enough. You know what we should do? Let's get into big blob with everyone. Hopefully they'll crowd around us, and that's where we'll get the casts in. But we should also keep moving around a little bit, make sure they stop shooting at us
Yes.
as much as we possibly can.
Prince Imric.
Especially for her, actually get her out of there. They're targeting her.
Calling the winds.
Rain down.
Go, go, go. Oh my god, this fucking cannon is still in play.
Fury of the Forge God. The glory of Imric.
Ulf mage.
Okay, that seems like that was the end of it.
Dragon tamer.
Good, yeah, see how they're blobbing up? That's what we wanted to see.
Blessed by
But they're
Baal.
shooting at the dragons and actually doing some decent damage. But I'm hoping that we can just dish out damage faster than them.
Palador's chosen. Might of the volcano.
Ulf mage.
Okay, them out. Just wanted to get them into the blobs. I don't need to just keep them in there.
Prince Imric.
Awaiting orders.
Well, that flamestorm did go the wrong way, so that sucks. But it's overall done a lot of damage to them.
duty.
Looks getting worn out.
I go then, going abroad.
Okay, we really need to be focusing on getting rid of their guns. That's what's causing all the damage to us, not their melee infantry.
Lakoi Soraya!
Okay, the bounce power must be in our favor because let's just start playing our music. So let's get in and finish the job here.
A glorious challenge. The
Oh,
dragon's
jeez,
roar.
she's in bad shape.
Moving out. Onward, going.
The wounds inflicted.
Going abroad.
But I reckon this is going to be what causes the army losses.
Scython, hear me.
And this is just for extra measure.
The light of Caledon. I will claim it.
Here it is.
Ulfwan Mage. Agreed.
Glory
And now she
is
can go in
mine.
and regenerate as much as she possibly can before they leave the battlefield. They're not going to fight back. Are there any slayers? Yep, there is a slayer, and it's doing a lot of damage. Finish it off. What are you doing? Come on, go finish them off. Alright, I'll just pause the recording as I run them down, mainly just to heal her, but also so that they don't dish out as much damage over the end turn, because we're out of movement. We're not going to finish them all off. Okay, got a fair amount of healing, but that's the last unit, and it's about to get wiped out, so can't get full healing in. Cool. That'll do. Alright, well, Imrik is in better shape than he was at the beginning of the battle, but not by a huge amount. They're all in pretty bad shape now. But 3 of their reinforcing armies get wiped out, and that's all that remains of the main armies. That's all that survives of this battle. And then the rest of their forces are just bits and pieces. Now, I don't know if there's lots of other things that it's supposed to do this turn, but I would imagine that the end turn really it shouldn't be a concern for him now.
They are surely worth it.
Because, like, they're all badly damaged armies. How many are even left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, even if they brought 4 of these armies to go and besiege Karaza Karak, you'd probably be able to auto-resolve it. Because you've got Garrison in here, didn't just capture it.
Magic.
Imri.
So now what we would do is
Master
take this
of
one
high
out here,
magic.
Imri.
force march Imrik back into the city,
No disturbances.
and then transfer them back into the army, and then tell her to get lost.
Give me strength.
Leave her outside here. The recipe for disaster, I think. Just tell her to go.
No
Then,
one does it better.
ooh, this is gonna be iffy. I think it could work.
Lilith protects
Okay, good.
me.
A little bit of cheese here for us. Full health.
I sense items of power.
And there we go. So, no casualties on our side. All of the Dwarf Endgame Crisis there basically wiped out, no casualties. Now, there is a decent chance that this army here will attack the Pillars of Rogni, so it's entirely up to you if you want to build a bunch of regiments around and sort it out to defend it. But these ones here, that one might be able to force march and help, but these ones here definitely won't be able to. If that one does go over there, then it definitely won't be able to stop us at Karaza Karak, and you'd easily be able to just beat them after that. So that endgame crisis is essentially dealt with. Again, I just don't know what other things he needs to do this turn, so that's not what I was contracted to deal with. This is, you know, it's like 98% done. He just needs to go through the end turn and finish it off. Anyway, guys, that's the end of this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Later, guys.